Dr. Carol Swain, a former professor of political science and law at Vanderbilt University and Princeton, shares her remarkable journey from poverty to academic success. Born into a family of 12 children in rural Virginia, Swain grew up in a two-room shack without indoor plumbing. She dropped out of school after 8th grade, married at 16, and had her first child at 17. Despite these challenges, Swain's life took a turn when a medical doctor and an African orderly encouraged her to pursue education. She earned her GED in her early 20s and went on to obtain 5 degrees, including a bachelor's degree from Roanoke College, where she graduated magna cum laude. Swain's academic journey led her to earn multiple degrees, including a Ph.D. in political science. She became a distinguished professor at Vanderbilt University and also worked at Princeton. Her academic career was marked by significant achievements, including publishing or editing 12 books, one of which has been cited by the Supreme Court 3 times. The conversation then shifts to the recent controversy involving Claudine Gay, the former president of Harvard University, who was accused of plagiarism. Swain reveals that she was one of the major sources that Gay relied on and plagiarized in her work. She expresses her frustration with Harvard's handling of the situation, noting that the university has not acknowledged her existence or the plagiarism of her work. She believes she has the strongest claim against Gay, as Gay's dissertation and early articles were framed around Swain's work. Swain is critical of DEI initiatives in academia, arguing that they often lower standards and harm the very minorities they claim to help. She shares her experience of benefiting from a post-Civil Rights Act environment that focused on recruiting talented minorities, emphasizing that she succeeded through hard work and intelligence rather than lowered standards. She believes that racial and ethnic minorities can meet any standard if given the opportunity and proper preparation. Throughout the discussion, Swain touches on various challenges she faced in academia, including feeling like an outsider and struggling with shyness. She credits her Christian faith, which she embraced in her 40s, with helping her overcome these challenges and giving her the courage to speak out on controversial issues. She emphasizes her commitment to truth-speaking and her belief that her life story is meant to serve a greater purpose. Swain is highly critical of the current state of academia, particularly at elite institutions like Harvard. She argues that the emphasis on DEI has led to a lowering of standards and a culture that excuses and even encourages dysfunctional behavior in minority communities. She believes that progressives are using the misery of minority groups to advance their political goals rather than genuinely helping these communities. The conversation delves into the legal challenges Swain faces in potentially pursuing action against Harvard for the plagiarism of her work. She discusses the risks involved, including the possibility of being countersued and having to pay Harvard's legal fees. She expresses her desire to hold Harvard accountable for academic integrity, but acknowledges the personal and financial risks involved in taking legal action. Swain emphasizes that her fight against plagiarism and for academic integrity is not just about her personal case, but about the broader implications for higher education and society. She argues that if elite institutions like Harvard are allowed to lower standards and ignore plagiarism, it will have far-reaching effects on education at all levels. Throughout the conversation, Swain reflects on her experiences as a Black woman in academia. She notes that her race has often advantaged her more than disadvantaged her, particularly once she reached college. However, she also observes that progressives often favor angry Blacks with weaker credentials, which she finds problematic. The discussion ends with Swain reaffirming her commitment to fighting for academic integrity and transforming academia. She believes that the battle against DEI and for true equality of opportunity is winnable and worth fighting. She sees her role in this fight as part of a larger calling, drawing parallels to historical figures like Martin Luther, who stood up for their beliefs despite the risks.